Hello and welcome to the International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C. My name is Thomas Bogart. I'm the historian here. Our museum is about 7 years old. We've welcomed a little over 5 million visitors to date. We are located in the heart of the nation's capital, just a few blocks from the White House. And our mission is to educate the public about the world of intelligence in a global perspective and throughout the ages. The area that I'm standing in right now is called Covers and Legends. And here we tell you a little bit about the things that spies need to do to stay covert, the kind of covers they assume, and that sort of thing. One of our most famous artifacts is this Aston Martin DB5. It's a fully functional car, and it has a great story that goes with it. This was actually used in promoting the movie Goldfinger, the second James Bond movie that came out in 1965. Now, this car is fully equipped. It has machine guns that are popping out. It has rotating license plates. It has a tire shredder. It comes in very handy in morning rush hour. And it has a armor shield that protects it against bullets. Intelligence is typically about gathering information, but there is an area in intelligence that's called covert action, which is about influencing operations abroad, influencing things abroad. And one area of covert action is assassination, sort of a dark area of intelligence. The panel that you see right here shows you some of the assassination weapons that intelligence agencies have used in the past to kill enemies, opponents of the regime, that sort of thing. Have a look at this item right here. It's an umbrella. It's a commercially available umbrella, but it's been manufactured to become an assassination weapon. This is a replica of an umbrella that was actually used in 1978 to kill a Bulgarian dissident in London. Final item there on the right, it's a lipstick pistol that was taken from a KGB agent in the 1960s. Again, this is testimony to the fact that, at least in the early Cold War, assassination was actually quite common, especially from the Russian side. We're now at the beginning of our permanent exhibit. Our permanent exhibit is divided into two parts: School for Spies, the logo right here, and the other part is called The Secret History of History. In School for Spies, you see the gadgets, the devices that spies have used mostly during the Cold War and the Second World War, the tricks of the trade. It's the largest collection of espionage-related artifacts on public display in the world. We're now standing at the beginning of the second part of our main exhibit, which is called The Secret History of History. In The Secret History of History, we take a look at how intelligence has influenced world history from the beginnings of times really until today. In fact, if you look at the oldest writing of Western civilization, the Odyssey, you find references to the Trojan horse, classic espionage deception operations. For that reason, espionage is also often called the second oldest profession. We're now in an area called the Red Terror, and here we look at the beginnings of the KGB, the Soviet intelligence service, which was absolutely fundamental in bringing about the Bolshevik Revolution. The desk that I'm sitting at right now belonged to the founder of was then called Cheka, Felix Dzerzhinsky. And Dzerzhinsky and the KGB were absolutely fundamental in securing the Russian Revolution and securing the Soviet regime until 1990. In fact, many people say the Russian Secret Service continues to play an important role in Russian politics today. At the International Spy Museum, we have a lot of interactives for kids, young adults, anybody really who wants to learn about the world of intelligence by doing something. The area that we're standing in right now is called the Code Room. We tell you a little bit about the world of cryptology, code breaking, and these interactives right here give you an idea of what it's like to try and break a code. You're asked to learn about the German Enigma machine, German encoding machine of the Second World War, and to decode and decipher certain German codes that were used at the time. We also have a real Enigma machine here on display. Berlin during the Cold War was often called the city of spies, the capital of spies. And right here you see the recreation of a famous espionage operation in Berlin during the Cold War. It's a tunnel that was dug underneath East Berlin from West Berlin by the CIA and the SIS, the British Intelligence Service. And the idea was, by digging this tunnel, to tap into Soviet and East German communication cable systems. We're at the end of our tour of the permanent exhibit in an area called Wilderness of Mirrors, which talks about counter-espionage, some recent spy cases. If you look at these cases, the interesting thing is that many of them commenced during the Cold War, but ended very recently after the end of the Cold War. So the point is, espionage goes on to the present day, as it always has. It is the second oldest profession, and it's not just a Cold War phenomenon. I hope you've enjoyed your tour of the International Spy Museum here in Washington, D.C. Again, we cover everything relating to espionage from biblical times until today. We have the largest collection of espionage-related artifacts on display. We also have a number of resources on the web that you might want to check out, podcasts. You can read about our programs, things that we do, Spy City tours. We have a great store that you may want to visit that offers a lot of the things that are in connection with what you have seen in the main exhibit. I do hope to see you here soon. We're open 362 days a year. Only Thanksgiving, New Year's Day, and Christmas are closed. Otherwise, all day long you can come and see us, and I hope to see you here soon.